Hi, this is a special recording because I'm close to finishing Annie. Yes, gold, 4th level awakening. All that stuff. I also have her exclusive weapon, the Chronicles of Westeros. And here I have a problem, because it will take quite a few months before I start collecting fragments of Margaery's weapon. Here it is worth taking a look at the special effect of Annie's weapon. If the enemy line already has the disarm debuff and Annie uses Wisdom's Tempest, it has a chance of doubling its effect. This is truly a huge power, as with 0 levels of her exclusive weapons, this translates into 6.4% of troops turned back. How many commanders are in my range with disarm effect? 2. Margaery and Uma. I'm currently using Umi due to lack of other options. But isn't he the dark horse in this race? Is Margaery, despite being a character available mainly for black diamonds, better than the free Uma? The answer will come in time as the film progresses. First, let's look at my basic lineup. Jaime Lannister as the Weakness Synergy Core, Drake as James Trigger, without whom the Weakness Synergy is only in name. Annie used to throw some enemy troops out of battle. 3 out of 5 places are already filled. Ultimately, Layla Mormont will join in the 4th position as the core of Famil Synergy. But what about 5th place? Uma, Margaery. Ultimately, of course, Daenerys Targaryen. Only it will take me a few years, so until then I only have 2 options. Let's start with the similarities between Uma and Margaery. Awakening effect, disarming. They are both spearwomen, and I guess that's it. There are no more similarities. Well, except that both are not available in the Weirwood. However, if we move on to the differences, we will certainly notice that Uma focuses on spearman stats and Margaery focuses on total stats. There is a specific justification for this because Margaery is between the epic and legendary classes. However, this refers to a time when there were no commander awakenings. And what is it like now? Does he lose to a completely free commander like Uma? Depends. Yes, paid does not mean better. Let's take a look at the total statistics of both commanders. Uma increases the attack of spearmen, reduces the health of enemy cavalry, and also reduces the enemy's total defense. Margaery increases research rate, total attack, total defense, and total health. In my case, playing Spearman, Uma has a huge advantage here, and that's counting the awakening at the 3-star level. However, the main reason I am considering Margaery in my squad is not her stats, but her awakening. Rose Thorn. At base level, unarmed, she has a 50% chance of inflicting the disarm effect on the enemy with a duration determined by the male commanders on the enemy side, and applies this effect to the largest lane. Sounds good. Uma, on the other hand, applies the same effect with 100% effectiveness to a random line with a duration of 4 seconds. However, he can only apply it twice per battle, and then after 5 seconds. Sounds good too. But as you notice, Uma only applies this effect twice, and those are definitely 2 times. Margaery, on the other hand, may not apply any, even within a few fights. Uma continues to gain in my eyes. The duration for Uma is 4 seconds. In Margaery's case, this is 2 seconds for each male commander on the opponent's side. That is, from 0 to 10 seconds. Assuming a fight against synergies, it will be less, maximum 6 seconds. Bleeding Synergy or Famil Synergy require women, which reduces the duration of disarm. Is it better to have 8 seconds of peace during battle or 0 to 40 seconds? If someone wants to be sure, they will say 8 seconds. If someone doesn't believe in luck, they will also say 8 seconds. And if someone knows how to analyze, they know that 40 seconds is unrealistic. Against any formation, 32 is the maximum he could have achieved without Layla Mormont. But what does she have to do with this? Well, Layla Mormont, when fully awakened, gives you a chance to repeat the army's active skill. This means that Margaery's chances of repeating disarmament are increasing. However, this only means that the upper limit increases from 0 to, well, to many seconds. Of course, I'm talking about total disarm, applied even to several enemy lines at the same time. Why? Because the chances are still 50%. Miss. Many players know this from somewhere, including me. The disarm effect is permanent, giving you a 100% chance of missing an enemy attack. This effect just needs to be applied first. Uma applies this effect. Margaery has a chance to apply it, but has many restrictions. But what about her exclusive weapons? Uma does not currently have her own weapon. Margaery has hers, but it's quite expensive. Let's assume it's 0 level, i.e. possession, but not improvement. Does this change anything? Yes, because just having it changes the conversation dramatically. Margaery's exclusive weapon increases the number of enemy lines that can be disarmed. At the initial stage, these are 2 lines, while maintaining a 50% chance. With the development of weapons, the number of lines increases to 3 and the chances increase to 65%. This is still not a certainty, but it is a definite advantage in Margaery's favor. Unfortunately, it is still completely useless against full synergy Famil. Even if the chances are 100%, when the above-mentioned synergy is encountered, the time will be 0 seconds. That is, utility at ground level. Disarmament applied at the beginning of the battle is much more important than disarmament applied at the very end. Why, you ask? Because there are more units involved at the beginning of the battle. Disarming 150,000 is not the same as disarming 100,000. Therefore, Uma's only restriction is the time limit of 5 seconds before she can apply this status. This blocks the use of Selma and Synergy. However, Margaery, combined with Selma and Layla, can cause stagnation in the enemy's ranks from the very first second. Maybe, but he doesn't have to. The conclusion brings us back to the very beginning. Uma versus Margaery. Poisoner versus Beauty. Who's better? It depends on where exactly we want to use it. Uma has a definite early advantage and also has an advantage against Famil Synergy. Margaery gains the advantage over time. Layla has no significant influence on Uma, while Margaery can take the awakening to its limits and beyond. However, it is completely useless against Famil Synergy. With the development of her exclusive weapon, Margaery grows, while Uma is still waiting for hers. How does this relate to Annie, who I talked about at the beginning? Annie turns back some of the enemy's troops using her active skill. In the case of her exclusive weapon, the Chronicles of Westeros, she has a chance of doubling the number of returned troops. In Uma's case, it can do this twice, in Margaery's case from 0 to 4 times. If we add Selma to the pair, in Uma's case it will still be twice. However, in Margaery's case it will be from 0 to 5. If Layla joins instead of Selma, the difference will still be in Margaery's favor. In my case, when I want to combine weakness synergy with partial Famil synergy, if I want to keep logic in my base composition, after finishing Annie in January, I have to do Layla. Margaery, before Layla graduates, will be a much worse choice than Uma. The 50% chance is low, additionally burdened with the risk of a shorter disarmament time than in the case of Uma. Without Layla, Margaery doesn't make any sense to me. It would be like replacing a good car with a Formula 1 car, and it would be used on bumpy roads such as PvP fights. Not the way. Paid doesn't mean better. Paid means more options later. Therefore, Margaery, beautiful Rose of Tyrell, you must wait patiently. Thank you for today. See you soon.